Have you ever heard someone say, I'm just waiting for my soulmate? Or maybe they're my twin flame. It's destiny. Sounds romantic, right? But what if I told you that might be the very thing keeping you from real connection? A lot of people believe there's only one person out there for them, one perfect match, one twin soul that completes them. And Hollywood loves that idea. So does social media. But here's the thing, that story, it's more fantasy than fact. My name is Paul Bauer. This is Quantum Reality Awakening. I'm a certified master life coach, NLP practitioner, and I've been studying the laws of the universe for nearly a decade now. And today I want to help you take a look at something most people never question, this idea of the one. Let's be real. If everything is energy, like we say in the law of attraction space, and if we're all connected to the same source, then that means we're all parts of the same whole, which also means there's no such thing as just one soul that's yours. We're all connected, all of us. So, how can there be a twin if we're all made of the same thing? This isn't just spiritual, it's also math. There are billions of people on this planet. If you believe you're only meant for one of them, you're setting yourself up for stress, disappointment, and a long wait. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people feel deeply connected to someone. That can be beautiful, but it doesn't mean that person is the only one you'll ever connect with. And here's the kicker. If you're stuck waiting on the one, you might be ignoring people who are actually on your wavelength right now. So why do people keep holding on to this idea? Why do we feel pulled to believe in a perfect match? Let's start with the question a lot of people are too scared to ask out loud. Why do we even want a soulmate so badly? Where does that deep desire come from? A lot of it comes from fear, the fear of being alone, the fear that if we don't find that perfect person, we'll never feel whole. That fear gets stronger the more we compare our lives to movies, shows, or people online. You see happy couples and think, they must have found their soulmate. What's wrong with me? But here's the truth, nothing is wrong with you. You're just holding on to an idea that was never based in truth. Let's look at it from a brain perspective. Your brain is always trying to find patterns. It wants safety. It wants to feel like life makes sense. So when someone says, there's just one out there for you, the brain likes that. It's simple. It feels safe. Now add in the emotional side. Maybe you had a deep connection with someone. You felt seen, you felt alive, and when it ended, your mind said, that must have been my twin flame. So you hold on. Even if the relationship was full of struggle, even if they're not good for you, even if it's been years, what's really happening is that your nervous system got used to that connection. Your brain lit up, and when it was gone, your system craved that feeling again. But that doesn't mean it was destiny. It means it was familiar. Spiritually speaking, energy flows where attention goes. So if you're focused on one specific person, even if they're not aligned with your growth, you'll block out other connections from reaching you. You're sending a signal that says, I'm only open to this one. That limits you. But what if you started telling yourself, there are many people I can connect with deeply? Imagine how much more open your world would become. And in the next part, we're going to look at how quantum physics explains exactly why this openness matters so much and how your energy plays a bigger role than you think. So how does quantum physics come into all of this? Let's break it down in a simple way. In quantum physics, everything is energy, not just the stuff around you. You are energy, your thoughts, your feelings, your body, and even your relationships, all of it. Now, here's the part most people miss. Energy moves in patterns, and these patterns match up with other patterns. That's called resonance. It's kind of like a radio station. When you're tuned to a certain station, that's the signal you hear. You can't hear the others unless you change the dial. So when you're focused on lack, pain, or needing someone to complete you, that's the energy you're sending out. And guess what you'll attract? People who match that same frequency. People who feel incomplete, unsure, or even unavailable. But if you start working on feeling whole right now, not someday when you find the one, but now, then your frequency changes. You send out a stronger, clearer signal. And that's when things begin to shift. That's when people who are also growing and evolving begin to show up. This is why it's not about finding the one, it's about becoming someone who naturally attracts others who are already aligned with your path. It's not magic, it's resonance. The law of attraction works best when you're not begging for something to show up. It works when you expect it to show up, like it's already on the way. This brings us to a big point. Most people think they need to fix something before love can arrive, but energy doesn't wait for perfection. It responds to belief. You could start attracting someone new today, not because you changed your hair or said the perfect affirmation, but because your energy is finally tuned to something real. Now, this doesn't mean you won't feel doubt or fear sometimes, but the more you focus on being in alignment with yourself, the more naturally the right connections come in. And up next, we'll dive into the psychology behind that connection, why your brain plays such a big role in who you let in your life, and how to reset old patterns for good. Let's talk about your brain. Because even though this is a conversation about energy, love, and attraction, your brain plays a huge role in who you connect with and how those relationships unfold. See, your brain is basically a giant pattern machine. It loves what's familiar, even if that familiar thing isn't good for you. This is why people often attract the same type of person over and over again. It's not fate, it's not karma, it's programming. If your early experiences taught you that love feels like chaos or that love means proving yourself, your brain might still be wired to look for that, even if you know it doesn't work. But the good news is patterns can be changed. Your subconscious runs most of your decisions without you even realizing it. And the law of attraction doesn't just respond to your thoughts, it responds to your beliefs. So if you truly want to attract someone different, someone who matches the new version of you, then the work starts with reprogramming those beliefs. This is where psychology and the law of attraction come together. Start paying attention to what you tell yourself. Are you saying things like, I always attract the wrong people, or no one ever stays? Those thoughts aren't just passing feelings. They're instructions your subconscious is taking seriously. So what can you do? You begin by choosing new thoughts, thoughts that match the kind of relationship you want, not the kind you're afraid of. Practice those thoughts every day. Speak them out loud. Write them down. Picture yourself in healthy love, not chasing it, but sharing it. The more real it feels to you, the more your brain starts to accept it as the new normal. When your mind starts seeing healthy love as familiar, you stop chasing what's painful. You stop repeating old patterns. You become open to something new. And in the next part, we'll bring all of this together, your energy, your brain, and your belief system, and show you how to use the law of attraction in a way that's real, grounded, and actually works. Let's bring this all home. You've probably been told a lot of stories about love. Maybe you've heard that there's just one perfect person out there for you, or that love is something magical that finds you when you're not looking. And sure, those stories feel nice. They make for good movies, but when it comes to real life and the law of attraction, they don't help that much. What actually works is this: knowing that love is energy, and so are you. If you're focused on becoming a person who feels whole, who respects themselves, who takes care of their energy, you're not waiting for someone to fix you. You're building a life that feels good with or without someone in it. And from that place, you attract people who are also whole, people who meet you where you are, not because fate decided it, but because you aligned with that energy. You don't need to chase someone who doesn't see your value. You don't need to hold out for the one. There are many people who could match your energy and add to your life, but it all starts with how you show up for yourself. So if you're ready to start calling in love the right way, not the fantasy, but the kind that lasts, then you're in the right place. If this episode helped you shift your thinking, go ahead and click that like button, leave a comment, and tell me what stood out the most to you. And of course, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. This is Paul Bauer, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay grounded, stay true to you, and remember, energy doesn't lie.